New Gen Gamers.com.
I've almost conquered the world.
Ray is taking over the world here.
Since I changed my character... Oh, I'm gonna lose to this thing.
As we're playing in Stonehenge. Apparently, that's what it's about. Dinosaurs. Finally...
Stonehenge was a monster arena.
Finally, yes. Finally, they figured it out. It was where dinosaurs battled.
That makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yes.
It's no
That
more...
vertigo thing
Dinosaurs
sucks.
that can teleport.
It's as plausible as anything else I've heard about Stonehenge, so...
That's the Loch Ness Monster, I guess.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't remind me of
I like their
dinosaur.
little celebrations. I think that's kind of fun. Like just seeing a dinosaur like talking smack, like, oh yeah, I got it.
This could have been one of those games that they could have turned into a product line.
Hey, I mean, it's okay.
It looks like they could
compared
make dinosaur toys out of them.
Compared to some of the fighting games on the market, this definitely is better. Definitely a lot better than most of the ones out there. If you want to play some real garbage, try World Fighters, which was so bad that Capcom filed a lawsuit for stealing their game design. And it literally, I remember playing it and was like, this is Street Fighter. They even took basically all the character animations and just altered them a little bit. You know, pretty much the same moves, same, like the same backgrounds. It was blatant. And I believe that Capcom won that lawsuit, but I'm not sure. Are you continuing, Ray, or are you done?
I'm done.
All
We're
right.
moving on.
You can record your initials for posterity.
Of course.
Now everyone knows.
Yeah, Ray was playing that. Alright, continuing on here, we're now going to do one of the better licensed games from Konami.
We get the Konami sound. We got the Capcom noise earlier. There's the Konami sound. This brought the era of the sounds associated with the company. We also got the EA Sports.
Little audio branding.
And as far as branding crap into your head, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the toys that you're supposed to love and buy all the accessories, items, and watch the cartoon for, that you don't have money even though you're 7 years old, but you have spending power. And
I've never forgotten the tune or the how the song goes.
It's stuck in our brains.
I'll have Alzheimer, when I'm older, and I'll still remember that.
We all will. It's in there. And
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So we get a little bit of cleavage there. That's nice.
Turtle power.
Yeah.
Now we see the evil Shredder, who's always up to no good. He's evil, in case you don't know the backstory on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And if we're going to talk about the Turtles, if you're any sort of fan of this series, check out the Japanese anime of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because it's the craziest thing you've ever seen. And basically they transform into robots, grow wings, and kick ass, and they have a fairy friend, because of course if it's an anime you have to have a fairy friend somewhere, don't you?
Even Link has one.
Right. So
I mean, he's more of a literal fairy.
now this is based off of the arcade game, what we're playing here. This is the, I believe, third well, it's the third Konami arcade arcade game based on this license. And the third, or the fourth home game, I guess.
Now, there were games that came out as far back as the original 8-bit NES, which, if anybody remembers, the first one wasn't based off the arcade game, which disappointed a lot of people initially, because the arcade game came out right before that.
Yeah.
And so everybody assumed it was going to be the arcade game,
and
but it was totally 100% different.
Yeah, it was definitely bad.
Horrible.
And so then the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 for the Nintendo Entertainment System,
which they labeled the arcade game.
The arcade game was the tagline because it was the original arcade game. So then the third one came out, I believe, or the second arcade game was the third one.
Now, was that Manhattan Project?
Yes. And then the fourth one is this, Turtles in Time, which was actually the third arcade one, if you followed that. And then we got to play it, but we have the Hyperstone heist for Genesis as well, and I'm not sure where that falls in.
Actually, I think that was well.
I'm not sure
if
if
the
it was
initial story was like this one.
I'm not sure if it was an original one or a compilation or whatever. We'll get back to you on that.
And also, everybody got some enjoyment when on the original NES when they brought out the arcade version, but unfortunately, it just couldn't meet up to the standards. And
you should get that pizza.
It really wasn't until. Well, it really wasn't until the this bit era came out that they could really do the arcade versions justice.
Yeah, this
so
one looked a lot like the arcade one.
And you know what also made this game super badass, rad, cool, and tubular?
Awesome.
And also awesome is that it was made by Konami, so it supported the Konami code.
Speaking
no way.
Of which, where do I input that?
It's the Konami code. You put it in at the title intro screen. And that was actually thrown in, if we're going to talk about the Konami code, because it's definitely part of video game lore. And it was put in Galaga as a way for the designer to test the game out and test the different features and just have access to all the weapons and have a lot of lives to be able to play through it, jump to a stage he needed. And it was left in there. And it got out to the people, and so Konami...
You sure it was Galaga? Because that was Namco, I believe. Just checking. Might have been Gradius, you're thinking.
Yeah, that's what it was, Gradius. I'm sorry. I knew it was a G, shooter game with a G.
Yeah.
Yes, Gradius. And so that was the first game to support it. And many titles afterwards would from Konami. The most popular being Contra, because the game was so damn hard.
You needed all 30 lives.
You needed those 30 lives, and so the Ninja Turtles arcade games also supported it.
I'll have to remember that next time I play this.
So there's the Konami code.
Which is
up, up, down, down, LR, LR, BA, start. Select start if you're playing two players, so you can flip over to the second player. And that's also a secret code on shop.newgengamers.com. If you purchase something through Google Checkout from us and enter that code, you will get 5% off your purchase.
That's a cool way to do it. Just enter the Konami code and unlock stuff at New Gen Gamers.
Absolutely, we support the Konami code.
That's paying a little homage to a classic.
Absolutely, we're keeping it alive. I don't know that Konami still uses it in anything. I mean, it'd be just kind of as a novelty thing, but it was always just one of those things in video game lore. We all know it. We can all think of it. Even if you don't know the code, most people know of the Konami code. So. Look at these guys tearing it up. They are.
This is an action-packed game.
It is. This is one of the.
I love these Turtles games.
Konami had a long series of these beat 'em up arcade games, and they were fun.
They did The Simpsons too.
Yeah, the Simpsons one in the arcade was a lot of fun.
They did a really.
They never brought that one home. They should have.
Well, they did a really good job, and they didn't take away too much from the original, so it still held all the core parts that made it so good.
Holy cow, it's Turtles in Time! The cool arcade game for Super NES. Now with tasty turtle duels. And psych up your Sega Genesis with the Hyperstone heist and all new 3D Turtle Thrash. So remember, this is Cowabingo. But the Turtles for Super NES and Sega Genesis are...
Cowabunga, dude.
The Turtles for Sega Genesis. In store...
New Gen Gamers. Duck Drop.